the whole Tibetan Plateau is very special indeed because it's the highest and the biggest plateau in the world, and it was formed because of the Indian-Asian collision, so about 55 million years ago. And because of the collision, it formed all these very, very large active faults that we are studying now. But there are still many things we don't know. I think every geologist in the world is hoping that one day we can kind of have some signs that we can predict earthquakes. So my name is Marie-Luce Chevalier, or Ma Xiaoli in Chinese, and I've been in Beijing in China for 14 years. I arrived in 2010 to work at the Institute of Geology of the Chinese Academy of Geological Sciences. My research is about the Tibetan Plateau, on active tectonics, large active faults, and big earthquakes. 3,150. Schist?
Here we have the schist, yes.
Yeah. So no, this is just soil. Maybe there.
Here's the other block.
The Shanxi River leaves the fault trace and suddenly goes south toward Yajiang at a 90-degree angle. So we're at the easternmost large offset of the Shanxi River, 62 kilometers from where it hits the fault, follows the fault for 62 kilometers, and then leaves the fault.
Daofu County in Sichuan Province is an important commercial hub in the Xizang region and a key starting point of the ancient Tea Horse Road. On the outskirts of this city lies the dangerous Xianshui-He fault zone, which cuts across the river. For over 2 years, a team of geologists from China and Belgium has focused their earthquake research on this fault zone. In October 2024, the scientific expedition team arrived in Daofu County.
All limestone. This limestone fell from this scarp behind the trees.
So the scarp is in place, but
This is not in place.
So yeah, it's very important to study this fault, and also because it's quite populated compared to other active faults on the Tibetan Plateau. It's one of the largest faults in China, and it's 1,400 kilometers long. It goes from Yushu, Batang, all the way to Kunming. In the Daofu Basin and near the Xianshui Fault, we found so many landslides that are still active. So we want to understand the structure at depth to see the influence of landslides on the Xianshui River and the relationship with the active fault, the Xianshui Fault.
When I see all the landslides here around, there have been also more recent earthquakes. In 1981 there was an earthquake not far from magnitude 7. There's probably information about damage in the city, but about landslides, nothing. Like here we have Hituo village. That is in August 2019, and then 4 months later all this collapsed, and here the road starts moving, and 2 years later the road could even not be used anymore, and now this road is here, much at a lower scale, and now you cannot almost not drive there anymore with the car.
One of the team's destinations is Yituo village, home to just 7 households. although far from Daofu's urban center. This seemingly tranquil village hides looming dangers.
So now we're going on top of that big landslide, which is still active now. Like they're rebuilding the road, they're trying to stabilize the slope, and we're going to the top to see where it starts and the types of rock. It looks like it's limestone or maybe schist. Yeah, it's at the bottom. It looks like it's both. Do you see? I can break the rock. I'm so strong. I can break the rock by hand. This is schist. So schist is like the desert with all the layers, you know. So the rock is made of all these different layers, and you have some mica inside. So yeah, very very soft. Break it quite easily. So they're just falling down with the landslide, a slowly creeping landslide, and you can see that it stopped where the cars are.
I've been working more than 26 years, for example, on geohazards in Central Asia. In Central Asia, most of the biggest earthquakes above magnitude 7 were before 1950. There was also a more recent one, 1992 Susamir earthquake, northern Kyrgyzstan, but did not create as many landslides. So here you have more information before and after.
Now we're on the crest that is stable, where the houses are. They're stable for now, and on this side is another big landslide. This one goes to the Sichuan River. We still don't quite understand why this particular area of the Sichuan Fault has so many landslides.
How can the risks of these landslides be minimized? Chevalier and her team continue to research on the Sichuan-Xizang Fault Zone to find answers to these questions. As midday approached, Chevalier and her team prepared a simple packed lunch.
Okay, so Hans, tell me, how did you become a geologist? Why did you choose geology?
When I was a child, I was collecting fossils and minerals. My daughter, for example, is doing the same. My two sons not. My daughter is doing the same. So well, I transferred this interest to my daughter.
我希望可以跟马老师好好学习，对于我童年没有得到答案的那些节目的疑问，希望可以有进一步的了解，可以拓宽一下人类知识的边界。是。
我小时候也是在这种小山村子里面，所以每天就爬山，就是亲近大自然。我就选择了地质。
说你高兴吗？你满意吗？
我挺满意。
对，你已经跟我们团队已经六年了。对，你每年在野外可能有3个月吗？
每年不止3个月。
More。
对，有可能。
对，有的时候你
半年。
对，半年。I love having friends coming to China and showing them what it's all about, because when you've never been to China, you don't really know. Actually, it's quite different knowing about China from abroad and coming to China and see. It's quite different.
Chevalier is one of only a few female scientists in the geology field. She works at high altitudes, and her altitude sickness once was so severe that she went 3 days without sleeping or eating. During her 14 years working in China, Chevalier has frequently conducted fieldwork on the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau, with Chengdu serving as a key logistics hub.
Our institute has a base in Chengdu in Pixian. Our team has been doing some drilling in the fault to study the fault rocks, to see the dip of the fault. Okay, this one is not too broken. And all the samples we collect, we leave them in Chengdu. So all of the equipment to analyze the rocks are in Chengdu now. Okay, so this is the core from about 530 meters deep in the Sichuan-Xizang fault. So we have 3 drilling holes in the Sichuan-Xizang fault. So we want to find where the fault is, and then we look at this one, for example. This one is below the fault, and you can see that it's not deformed, it's still white, it's not broken, so it's below the fault. The fault is somewhere here, and the closer you get to the fault and the more broken the rock is, the more black it is because it's deformed by the earthquake action. So, good morning. I will present how essentially very
As early as 1980, the Institute of Geology, Chinese Academy of Geological Sciences, collaborated with France on scientific research. Chevalier played a crucial role in Sino-French cooperation, fostering joint studies on fault activity and natural disasters on the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau. Her work has provided vital data for China's earthquake hazard assessments.
因为这个地震不仅仅是在我们国家，在全世界，地震这个怎么发生的仍然不清楚。最重要的是什么呢？它和一些外国一些交流，国际上的交流，它实际上起到一个很好的一个桥梁作用。不仅仅培养研究生，那么对国际交流，那么牵线，然后包括一些传递一些正能量。
Since 2010, Chevalier has lived and worked in Beijing for 14 years. In 2012, she met her husband from Singapore, and they held their wedding 4 years later. Their daughter was born in Beijing.
You know, I mean, she has a home in Belgium, she has a home in Singapore, my husband's from Singapore, but she really thinks that she's Chinese. You know, she speaks perfect Chinese, like Beijing Hudong Chinese. And you got me.
Chevalier has rooted both her family and career in China. Over the past 2 decades, she has published 2 first author papers in the publication Science, as well as over 60 academic papers. She has also actively promoted international collaborations between China and multiple research teams from Europe and America. Her achievements earned her the Chinese Government Friendship Award in 2021.
Yeah, we lived up there for 6 years in the Hudong. Ah, attention, reste bien à droite, il y a quelqu'un derrière, bouge pas. Well, Beijing is like my home, right? My new home, my second home. We liked living in the Hudongs because it's like every day we would pass through the little Hudongs and say hi to the Shefu and hi to the Yeye and hi to the Nai Nai. Yeah, it's very peaceful, very quiet, and then we know all of the neighbors. And then just across from our house before, there is the Doge, the famous Doge Den. Hello. Hello. 哎呦，
越来越漂亮了，越来越漂亮。
买什么？麻豆腐。
麻豆腐。
一个麻豆腐。
跟不上。对。
In November 2024, Chevalier and her team returned to the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau to collect more data for earthquake research on the Xianshui fault zone.
Oh, 你看前面是贡嘎山。我们现在去雅拉山观台，也还有可能10公里左右。
Yala Snow Mountain stands at 5,884 meters above sea level. To this day, no one has ever successfully peaked it. At different levels of the mountain, there are different landforms like meadows, lakes, glacial ravines, etc.
哇，雅拉山，看了吗？是雅拉山。然后我们的下面有温泉，因为雅拉河断裂不远。
Chevalier is preparing to climb through a pass of over 4,700 meters above sea level to observe the impact of the ice erosion on the area around Yala Snow Mountain.
对，我们可以看看这个石头吧。这个好像是片岩吧？你看，
对，
地表都是亮亮的，这个白玉木吧？
对，应该像白木。
是的，你看那边没有冰川，所以是 V shape 的。
啊，
所以有很多滑坡，你看。青藏高原是一个自然的实验室，到处都有很有意思的问题可以解决。
Amidst the ancient mountains and rivers of the Qinghai-Xizang Plateau, Chevalier is gradually realizing her childhood dream. Whether through her geological work or her happy family life, her heart lies in China. Like an eagle soaring in the sky, she listens to the seismic activities of the plateau, witnessing the ever-changing dynamics of the Earth.